Hare Kṛṣṇa and welcome to Shravanam Diaries podcast, and I am your host Sulalita Devidasi, and we are continuing to read Nectar of Instruction by His Divine Grace Śrīla A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So, Jaya Prabhupada, we are reading text 7. Syat Krishna nama charita disitapya Avidyā Pito pataptarasanasya narochikanu Kitvādaradanuditam kalusaiva justa Svadvikramad bhavati tad gadamula hantri. Syat is Krishna of Lord Krishna, Nama the holy name, Charita Adi character, pastimes, and so forth. Sita, sugar candy. Api, although. Avidyā, of ignorance. Pitta, by the bile. Upatapta, afflicted. Rasanasya, of the tongue. Na, not. Rochika, palatable. Nu, oh how wonderful it is. Kintu, but. Adarat, carefully. Anuditam, every day or 24 hours daily. Khalu, naturally. Sa, that, sugar candy of the holy name. Eva, certainly. Jushta, taken or chanted. Svadvi, relishable. Kramat, gradually. Bhavati, becomes. Tat gada, of that disease. Mula, of the root. Hantri, the destroyer. Translation: the holy name, character, pastimes, and activities of Krishna are all transcendently sweet, like sugar candy. Although the tongue of one afflicted by the jaundice of Avidyā, ignorance, cannot taste anything sweet, it is wonderful that simply by carefully chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish awakens within his tongue, and his disease is gradually destroyed at the root. Haribo! Purport. The holy name of Lord Krishna, his quality, pastimes, and so forth are all of the nature of absolute truth, bliss, and beauty. Naturally, they are very sweet, like sugar candy, which appeals to everyone. Nescience, however, is compared to the disease called jaundice, which is caused by bilious secretions. Attacked by jaundice, the tongue of a diseased person cannot palatably relish sugar candy. Rather, a person with jaundice considers something sweet to taste very bitter. Avidyā, ignorance, similarly perverts the ability to relish the transcendently palatable name, quality, form, and pastimes of Krishna. Despite this disease, if one with great care and attention takes to Krishna consciousness, chanting the holy name and hearing Krishna's transcendental pastimes, his ignorance will be destroyed, and his tongue enabled to taste the sweetness of the transcendental nature of Krishna and his paraphernalia. Such a recovery of spiritual health is possible only by regular cultivation of Krishna consciousness. When a man in the material world takes more interest in the materialistic way of life than in Krishna consciousness, he is considered to be in a diseased condition. The normal condition is to remain an eternal servant of the Lord, Jivera Svarupahaya Krishnera Nityadasa. This healthy condition is lost when the living entity forgets Krishna due to being attracted by the external features of Krishna's Maya energy. This world of Maya is called Durashraya, which means false or bad shelter. One who puts his faith in durashraya becomes a candidate for hoping against hope. In the material world, everyone is trying to become happy, and although their material attempts are baffled in every way, due to their nescience, they cannot understand their mistakes. People try to rectify one mistake by making another mistake. This is the way of the struggle for existence in the material world. If one in this condition is advised to take to Krishna consciousness and be happy, he does not accept such instructions. Unfortunately, right? This Krishna consciousness movement is being spread all over the world just to remedy this gross ignorance. Haribol! People in general are misled by blind leaders. The leaders of human society, the politicians, philosophers, and scientists are blind because they're not Krishna conscious. According to Bhagavad Gita, because they are bereft of all factual knowledge due to their atheistic way of life, they are actually sinful rascals and are the lowest among men. Namam dushkriti no mudach prapadyanti naradamah mayaya pahrita jnana asuram bhavam ashritah. Quote, those miscreants who are grossly foolish, lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. Unquote, Bhagavad Gita 7.15. Such people never surrender to Krishna, and they oppose the endeavor of those who wish to take Krishna's shelter. When such atheists become leaders of society, the entire atmosphere is surcharged with nescience. In such a condition, people do not become very enthusiastic to receive this Krishna consciousness movement. Just as a diseased person suffering from jaundice does not relish the taste of sugar candy. However, one must know that for jaundice, sugar candy is the only specific medicine. Similarly, in the present confused state of humanity, Krishna consciousness, the chanting of the holy names of the Lord, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare Hare, is the only remedy for setting the world aright. Although Krishna consciousness may not be very palatable for a diseased person, Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī nevertheless advises that if one wants to be cured of the material disease, he must take to it with great care and attention. One begins his treatment by chanting the Hare Kṛṣṇa mahā-mantra, because by chanting this holy name of the Lord, a person in the material condition will be relieved from all misconceptions. Ceto-darpaṇa-mārjanam. Avidyā, a misconception about one's spiritual identity, provides the foundation for ahaṅkāra, or false ego within the heart. The real disease is in the heart. If the mind is cleansed, however, if the consciousness is cleansed, a person cannot be harmed by the material disease. To cleanse the mind and heart from all misconceptions, one should take to this chanting of the Hare Kṛṣṇa mahā-mantra. This is both easy and beneficial. By chanting the holy name of the Lord, one is immediately freed from the blazing fire of material existence. There are 3 stages in chanting the holy name of the Lord. the offensive stage, the stage of lessening offenses, and the pure stage. When a neophyte takes to the chanting of the Hare Kṛṣṇa mantra, he generally commits many offenses. There are 10 basic offenses, and if the devotee avoids these, he can glimpse the next stage, which is situated between offensive chanting and pure chanting. When one attains the pure chanting, he is immediately liberated. This is called bhava mahā-mantra nirvāpanam. As soon as one is liberated from the blazing fire of material existence, he can relish the taste of transcendental life. The conclusion is that, in order to get freed from the material disease, one must take to the chanting of the Hare Kṛṣṇa. The Krishna consciousness movement is especially meant for creating an atmosphere in which people can take to the chanting of the Hare Kṛṣṇa mantra. Oh, this is such a beautiful sentence. Jai, jai, jai. Hare Rāma eva kevalam. Okay, one must begin with faith, and when this faith is increased by chanting, a person can become a member of the society. We are sending Sankirtana parties all over the world, and they are experiencing that even in the remotest part of the world where there is no knowledge of Krishna, the Hare Krishna mahā-mantra attracts thousands of men to our camp. In some areas, people begin to imitate the devotees by shaving their heads and chanting the Hare Krishna mahā-mantra only a few days after hearing the mantra. This may be imitative, but imitation of a good thing is desired. Some imitators gradually become interested in being initiated by the spiritual master and offer themselves for initiation. If one is sincere, he is initiated, and this stage is called bhajana kriya. One then gradually actually engages in the service of the Lord by regularly chanting the Hare Krishna mahā-mantra 16 rounds daily, and refraining from illicit sex, intoxications, meat eating, and gambling. By bhajana kriya, one attains freedom from the contamination of materialistic life. Freedom! He no longer goes to a restaurant or hotel to taste so-called palatable dishes made with meat and onions, nor does he care to smoke or drink tea or coffee. He not only refrains from illicit sex, but avoids sex life entirely. Nor is he interested in wasting his time in speculating or gambling. In this way, it is to be understood that one is becoming cleansed of unwanted things, anartha nivriti. The word anartha refers to unwanted things. Anarthas are vanquished when one becomes attached to the Krishna consciousness movement. When a person is relieved from unwanted things, he becomes fixed in executing his Krishna activities. Indeed, he becomes attached to such activities and experiences ecstasy in executing devotional service. This is called bhava, the preliminary awakening of dormant love for Godhead, love of Godhead. Thus, the conditioned soul becomes free from material existence and loses interest in the bodily conception of life, including material opulence, material knowledge, and material attraction of all variety. At such a time, one can understand who the Supreme Personality of Godhead is and what his Maya is. Although Maya may be present, it cannot disturb a devotee once he attains the bhava stage. This is because the devotee can see the real position of Maya. Maya means forgetfulness of Krishna, and forgetfulness of Krishna and Krishna consciousness stand side by side like light and shadow. If one remains in shadow, he cannot enjoy the facilities offered by light. And if one remains in light, he cannot be disturbed by the darkness of shadow. By taking to Krishna consciousness, one gradually becomes liberated and remains in light. Indeed, he does not even touch the darkness. As confirmed in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 22.31. Krishna Surya Samamaya Haya Andakara Yahan Krishna Nahan Nai Maya Radhikara. Quote, Krishna is compared to sunshine, and Maya is compared to darkness. Wherever there is sunshine, there cannot be darkness. As soon as one takes to Krishna consciousness, the darkness of illusion, the influence of the external energy will immediately vanish. Thank you so much for tuning in today. The link to this book is in the description. Please read along with us and share the link with your friends. And tomorrow we shall continue with the next text number 8. So stay tuned and we shall see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.